Hi, I'm Annika. It's so nice to finally be able to meet you.
Annika.
Would you be able to just introduce yourself? Just tell us some more stuff.
My name is Cindy, and I am coming to you from, well, almost dark, southwest Manitoba right now. So I am one of the three female owners of Goodlands Environmental, and we are a company that provides environmental support to oil and gas clients in southeast Saskatchewan and southwest Manitoba. So that's kind of a short intro for sure.
So like what does your kind of like day-to-day work life look like? Maybe like what's like a typical week that you have?
We are definitely Monday to Friday, but we do provide spell support through the weekend too. And our jobs are fairly complex. So the days can be long, but generally we kind of aim for 7:30 to 4:30 type work day. If you're in the field, it can be longer depending on what is going on. So we provide all sorts of remedial supports. So the summer days can be longer while we've got the ability to be in the field, checking the crops, checking the soils, assessing the veg. So that can all mean for longer days, but usually we don't mind because it's sunny and nice. So it's nice to be out there in nature, enjoying that part of it. And then the winters, of course, here are chilly, and the days are shorter because we lose daylight fairly quickly in the afternoons. So they're a little bit shorter actually, and the fieldwork days are condensed.
I was also wondering like when you go for like the skill support and you're like kind of approaching almost like a project, is there like a certain way do you kind of approach them all in like the same kind of manner, or does it really depend on like kind of what's going on, where it is?
We provide support to a few different oil and gas producers in our area. So it is a little bit client dependent, but honestly, we are overseen by government regulations that sort of dictate what happened in the field. So and that's why the clients need us because they do not have the specialized knowledge that we do about the regulations and about the soils and the veg and what has to happen. So that's why they hire us to help them to do their mediation, to bring the soils and the water
Mhm.
back to what they were before oil and gas was there. So every site is a little bit different, but the same overarching idea sort of holds for each of them. So you're really trying to be as protective of the soils and of the water as you can. So that's really what we're doing every time when we're out there.
Mhm. So when you, because you say you work with like obviously the client, but then you also have to be like mindful of government regulations. Kind of when you do you ever encounter like a disagreement, or like maybe the client has like one idea and but you're like I have to, like how do you kind of, I guess, like work your way through kind of coming to consensus?
So that we have a lot of stakeholders at each of the sites that we work at, and we often do get differing of opinions on site. So we really do just fall back on the regulations as sort of the overarching, like where we can help to support our clients and the landowners. It is really the regulations have really changed in the last 10 years. They are quite strict, which is excellent. Go Canada. We have some of the best environmental regulations in the world. So we are driven by both provincial and some federal regulations. So there's quite a lot of that piece is really important for us to know. So we really do make a big effort to navigate that carefully. And because we really do want the landowners buy-in on what we're doing and the occupants buy-in, it is really important. And what we're trying to do is really bring the land back for them to be able to grow their crops, and we go about that in many different ways. That's sort of the end game. So generally you can get everybody on board.
I just don't think I've ever realized like how many different kind of moving pieces and like aspects there were to just like one thing. Is there like any, I guess, like spill or like situation or issue that you like remember distinctly, and maybe something about it, whether it was like challenging or there was like a lot of moving pieces, or it was like different than something you'd encountered before?
Yeah, there is actually. There was one we actually responded to, and not that anybody wants this to happen, but to one of the biggest spills in Saskatchewan in 2020. It was right during COVID. And so that actually confounded a lot of things for us, and it added just that extra pressure. It was also a really large spill in parkland, and it did affect both groundwater and surface water. So we had an extensive support project there for many, many, many months. Unfortunately, we do try to not just revert to like the dig and dump, where you're digging the soils and having to landfill them and then bringing back in new soils. We were able to mitigate some of that by monitoring the groundwater and ensuring that the groundwater and the surface water is safe. But that was a very massive spill, and because of COVID, just some extra pressure there. We had a ton of government involvement. They actually, the main branch office in Regina actually sent people out to come and um, basically go side by side with us day after day so they could kind of learn what we were doing. It was a really interesting site to be part of and lots of takeaways for everyone. So to be clear, the clients never want this to happen either, right? It's just part of it's like if you own a car or have a house or you know that things break, people never intend for them to. It's just part of what happens when we're out there and navigating through the world, working in industries where there's literal moving parts and pieces. And of course, when people are involved. So mistakes really do happen. So